Hello everyone, welcome back to Simplicity Reimagined. So basically this whole entire video is a combined week of the second week of the 15-day China trip because we mainly did a lot of traveling to different places and we didn't have enough time to settle down and actually do some things that would take a bit longer than just one day. In conclusion, we didn't follow our original agenda, so I'm just going to read off what we sort of did on each day. On day 8, we went from Chengdu to Guilin on a flight from 11:20 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then we visited a local market before dinner. On day 9, we took a cruise down the Li River to view some of the world's most unusual and breathtaking landforms on our way to the small town of Yangshuo. By the way, I forgot to mention before we actually saw these landforms, I had reflexology the night before, which was personally, I think, better than the massage that we had, the full body massage. The reflexology was more aggressive and more deep tissue, I believe. The recent clips were from the Liu Sanjie Impression Show that we saw in the evening. It was basically this guy's take on the city of Guilin. On day 10, we took a Chinese cooking class in Yangshuo. So we actually went to the market. This is the vegetable/fruit part of the market. And then there was also a meat market, but that was kind of scary. So I don't recommend going into the meat market because you might be traumatized, but don't go in the back. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine because we saw a lot of cute animals that were alive and then there's some dead ones, but I didn't show it for you guys because demonetized. Aside from that minor detail, we then went to a second story of a restaurant where we had a personal cooking class. We prepared 3 main dishes. We had dumplings stuffed with a mixture of mushrooms and vegetables. We had chicken with assorted vegetables. Lastly, we had some thin noodles with, guess what, vegetables. Anyways, the meal turned out great. This was probably one of my favorite meals we had out of the entire trip because we made it all ourselves. We knew exactly what was going into it, so that's a good thing. We also got all the individual recipes for each of the dishes that we made, even a vegetarian version. On day 11, we then went to a tea plantation where we personally got to pick tea leaves.
The sprout and the tea leaf together. This is for green tea. But the green tea have different quality. 1 needle by 1 leaf for green tea is the best, the first class.
He taught us about the step-by-step process for the green tea specifically, and he also had another worker demonstrating it for us. Obviously, the tea process does not happen in a couple minutes just for demonstration purposes. It would happen over a series of days or maybe even weeks. And depending on how high quality you want the tea to be, it could be, months, years. It's the same concept as wine. Basically, if you keep it longer, then it gets better. After, we then went inside and we had this tea ceremony. Now, an actual tea ceremony lasts about 5 hours if you want to go the traditional route with all the traditional tools and stuff. And you can even buy the whole set at the store. However, that would cost like a couple $1,000s because we saw one teapot that was like $3,000 and no joke. And it wasn't even encrusted in gold or anything. Aside from that frivolous rant, I'm here to tell you that we tried 3 different types of teas.
It's cold water, no pressure, so nothing happens. Later, we change the hot water. It will be pee. You see that? This is boiling water. It's more than 2 meters long.
Attached to the tea plantation, they had this little gift shop. However, the prices weren't that little. To give you a perspective on how much the prices were, it was about $30 on average for one type of tea. On day 12, we then visited the orphanage and our finding place. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that because it is confidential information, so just to let you know. And yeah, have a wonderful day.